Some of this dogbane is still green, like this one. It still has a bright red color to it, and you can feel the moisture in it. But some of it is dried out and ready for making cordage. Most of it is dried out, actually. We had a frost 3 days ago. It's October 6th now, and I think we had a frost on the 3rd or the 4th. That was our first frost of the year. And usually after the frost comes, that's when you can gather the fresh dogbane and make cordage with it. Another plant that I found out makes good cordage is the common evening primrose. See if I can do this. A lot of the plants that you can squish flat like this that have a hollow pithy center will make cordage. This one might, I think this is from last year, this one might not work. But the common evening primrose from this year that has recently dried out will work. I just made some the other day. Yeah, this is too old. Yeah, this is too old. But that's another plant you can make cordage with, and it's fairly strong. My favorite is dogbane, of course. It's really strong. And it makes a nice fine cordage, especially if you scrape that outer chaff off. But I'm gonna get headed down. This area might look familiar. This is my avatar at Bushcraft USA and on my YouTube channel. I thought it was kind of neat. This is my portal to the wilderness. That's where I'm headed. See, you got all the graffiti going on. Steel and graffiti. Hey! And it echoes. I see light. Go to the light. I'm sure some people are familiar with this area that are viewing this. But I haven't done a lot of hiking in this area, so I figured I'd get out and hike around and see what I can find. It's a nice day for it. Milkweed. Potential good tinder. And another excellent source of cordage. And by the looks of it, this milkweed's ready. Yeah, it feels like it might still be just a little green. Some of the milkweed plants are still green and they have pods on them, and other ones are old like this and they look like they've been hit with frost and they're all seeded out. But that's a good resource right there. Common milkweed, Asclepias syriaca. Makes good cordage, has edible parts in the spring and early summer, and it can be used as a source for tinder. and it also has medicinal properties. When my mom was a kid, she slipped and fell on her father's axe, which he kept extremely sharp, and she sliced her arm wide open. And of course, back in those days, around the time of the Depression, they really couldn't go to the hospital, so he closed it up and put some milkweed sap on it. And I'm sure he did other things. He was kind of a self-taught doctor, as many people were back in the day. And she healed up fine. And they attribute it a lot to the milkweed sap. I don't know what's in it, but it has some type of healing property or binding property to help the skin heal. A lot of the leaves are changing. We still got a lot of green though. It's still early in the season, but it's all going to come to an end real quick. As soon as we get a couple more frosts, all these leaves will be gone. Hickories are changing, turning yellow, and the maples are changing too, and they're turning red. Hickory is another plant that makes pretty good cordage. I haven't made any myself, but I've seen people make it, and it's fairly strong. And if you take a hickory branch and you try to snap it in two, you'll have a hard time because it's quite fibrous, and the outer bark makes a good makeshift cordage. And also, I've been told that the hickory leaves and such have saponins in them, so you can use that as a soap, and you can also use it as a lubricant for the bow drill between your bearing block and your spindle. That one's old and dead, but you get a live branch off of the hickory, and it will make cordage. Pretty easy cordage too. It won't look pretty, but it'll function. We have quite a few hickories here. Lots of hickories and oak. We actually have a really good mix of trees. Predominantly oak and hardwoods, but there is really a wide variety of trees. A lot of different willows, a lot of different types of shrubs. Many of these shrubs, I don't even know what they are. I'm sure a lot of them have good uses. Rose hips are getting ripe. I think they're pretty good. The ones I eat have a pretty sweet flavor. and they're full of vitamin C. Kind of refreshing, especially if you're thirsty. If you're out on a trail and you ran out of water, you know, nibble on a few of those and at least your mouth will get wet. Might not quench your thirst completely, but it'll help. Which way to go? This way? Or this way? This way has some oaks, but it looks kind of open. This way is looking kind of open and kind of swampy. There's probably an oak ridge on the other side. I'm gonna go this way. Here's another decent mushroom. It's not great, but it's not bad either. And you can find these in huge numbers growing on dead oak logs and stuff. This is what they call the pear-shaped puffball. Lycoperdon pyriform, I believe, is the Latin name. I could be wrong. But these are similar to the gem-studded puffballs I showed you earlier. Except they're more tan in color on the outside. But if you find them when they are nice and firm like this and white on the inside, they're pretty good edible, really. If there was more of these, I'd probably go ahead and gather up a bunch and put them in a stir fry or something like that. Pear-shaped puffball. Say it ain't so, Joe. Looks like I picked the wrong way. Turn around and head back.